Have you ever found yourself withdrawing from the world the more deeply you reflect on it? Does it seem like the deeper your insights become, the more disconnected you feel from others? If so, you're not imagining it. This feeling has haunted many of history's brightest minds. From Socrates to Tesla, from Galileo to Hypatia, society has a long track record of pushing away those who see too clearly, too soon. But why is this? Why does the act of thinking deeply, of questioning what's commonly accepted, lead to isolation rather than admiration? The answer lies in something deeper than simple misunderstanding. It's rooted in psychology, sociology, even biology. Deep thinkers challenge the status quo not just through their words, but by their mere presence. Their clarity often acts as a mirror, reflecting back the limitations, insecurities, and contradictions in the people around them. And people rarely thank a mirror for showing them their flaws. When someone is physically strong, we admire them. When someone is wealthy, we may envy them, but still often aspire to be like them. These are external traits. Intelligence, however, is internal. It threatens not just how others see the world, but how they see themselves. And that discomfort triggers resistance. Psychologists refer to this as the mirror effect. A deep thinker reflects the intellectual blind spots of others, even without saying a word. That reflection can provoke shame, resentment, or defensiveness. The discomfort doesn't come from arrogance or superiority, but from the disruption of identity. We define ourselves through our beliefs, and when those beliefs are challenged, it feels like an attack on the self. Intelligence, unlike strength or beauty, isn't something people admire without reservation. It's something they often fear. This fear isn't irrational. From an evolutionary standpoint, our ancestors survived not by standing out, but by fitting in. Group cohesion meant safety. Challenging the group, even with the truth, meant risking expulsion. This is why, throughout history, truth-tellers have often been silenced. Socrates was executed, Galileo imprisoned, and many modern intellectuals ridiculed or sidelined. It wasn't because they were wrong. It was because they disrupted the narrative that held society together. Even today, in the age of information, the same patterns play out. Social media, for all its potential, amplifies noise over nuance. Viral content isn't about truth, it's about engagement. And engagement thrives on emotion, not intellect. Deep ideas take time to understand. Shallow ones spread like wildfire. This isn't just anecdotal. Studies in neuroscience have shown that when people feel intellectually outmatched, their amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, activates as if they're facing a physical danger. That's right, a challenging idea can trigger the same stress response as a growling predator. Why? Because intelligence threatens the social fabric. It questions authority, tradition, and conformity. Most people aren't prepared for that. They don't want to deconstruct their worldview. They want validation, not disruption. Arthur Schopenhauer, one of philosophy's most brutally honest minds, argued that the more intelligent a person is, the more they suffer. Not because intelligence itself is painful, but because it reveals painful truths. While others find joy in everyday pleasures, deep thinkers see illusions, in media, politics, relationships, even in themselves. For Schopenhauer, intelligence leads to a will to truth, an unrelenting desire to understand reality. But reality is often harsh. Most people live in pursuit of comfort. Deep thinkers pursue clarity, even if it hurts. This gap, between comfort-seeking and truth-seeking, is what creates loneliness. The deep thinker begins to feel alien in conversations filled with small talk. They sense the hollowness in rituals that others find meaningful. They struggle to relate to those who don't share their thirst for depth. And yet, the isolation isn't always a curse. As Schopenhauer saw it, solitude can be a gift. It allows space for thought, creativity, and introspection. The key is not to conform, but to find connection on your own terms. To seek out others who share your wavelength, even if they're rare. In fact, many of history's greatest thinkers found community not in the masses, but in a few like-minded souls. Or even in books. Nietzsche, another radical mind, believed that truth was not for everyone. That society preferred lies that soothed, rather than truths that burned. Nietzsche, like Schopenhauer, suffered greatly for his insights. He was called mad, dismissed by his contemporaries, and only appreciated posthumously. But today, his ideas shape psychology, philosophy, and literature. His rejection in life turned into reverence after death. Why does this happen so often? Because society doesn't fear intelligence itself, it fears what intelligence reveals. It fears the collapse of certainty. The exposure of contradictions. The confrontation with the unknown. Even institutions meant to celebrate knowledge often resist it. Schools reward obedience, not originality. Corporations promote conformity over innovation. Politicians thrive on telling people what they want to hear, not what they need to understand. The internet, too, isn't neutral. Algorithms push controversy and comfort, not contemplation. Depth is penalized. Simplicity is rewarded. A viral TikTok has more cultural power than a thoughtful essay. The more intellectually nuanced your message, the harder it is to make it viral. This is why, despite living in the most connected era in history, deep thinkers still feel alone. The digital world wasn't built for complexity. It was built for speed, for clicks, for dopamine. So what can be done? If you're a deep thinker, how do you survive, even thrive, in a world that often seems hostile to your nature? Choose your battles. Not every thought needs to be shared. Understand your audience. Save your deepest ideas for those who can receive them. Find your tribe. Whether through books, forums, niche communities, or individual friendships, seek out those who resonate with your wavelength. Quality beats quantity. Learn to simplify. As Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. Simplicity doesn't mean dumbing down. It means clarity. Embrace solitude. Use it as fuel, not punishment. Many breakthroughs happen in silence. Accept rejection. You're not alone in feeling misunderstood. Most visionaries were, until the world caught up. Don't shrink your thoughts to fit smaller minds. Balance depth with compassion. Just because you see deeper doesn't mean others are blind. Everyone is on their own path. Meet them with empathy, not superiority. Turn your insights into action. Deep thinking isn't just about seeing what others miss, it's about doing something with that vision. Whether through art, writing, research, or leadership, channel your thoughts into impact. Practice intellectual humility. Being a deep thinker doesn't mean having all the answers. Stay curious, stay teachable, and remember that learning never ends. The wisest minds often ask the most questions. Develop emotional resilience. Isolation can be painful, but it can also be an opportunity for growth. Learn to sit with discomfort. Learn to grow from it. The ability to be alone with your thoughts is a superpower in an age of distraction. Contribute quietly. Not every impact needs to be loud. Many thinkers have influenced society through writing, mentorship, or small communities. Even if your influence is subtle, it can ripple far beyond what you can see. And finally, reflect on this: every era has its outcasts who eventually became heroes. The rebels of thought become the architects of tomorrow. So if you're ahead of your time, keep going. The future might just be waiting to catch up with you. If this resonates with you, share your story. Have you ever been dismissed for your ideas? Have you found ways to stay grounded despite the disconnect? Let's continue the conversation in the comments. And if you're hungry for more insights from history's greatest thinkers, don't forget to hit subscribe. Your mind deserves to be challenged, not coddled. We're just getting started.